It's funny. It says, please bear in mind, and little bear's behind me. The dog. All right. So, probably enough dad jokes for now. So, please bear in mind that this all pertains to the nature of awareness. From that perspective, all these statements hold true. There's no excellent meditation to be practiced in order to smell, see, or hold on to something special. Once you've attained perfect enlightenment, it is like being on an island, composed only of jewels and gold, where everything you see is of the same nature. Here, in that realization of enlightenment, everything you see appears as reality itself, so there are no ordinary appearances. Yeah, and I'm just going to reemphasize this is the radical part to see reality not only as illusory, so you lighten up about reality itself. And this isn't something you contrive. This is what awareness starts to unfold for you. Remember, with the four great liberations. So appearances will start to reveal themselves. You'll start to notice pure mind within appearances, and you'll also back off. You'll pull back your mind. So your mind can be like rays attaching to things, hooking into things, and you pull back the troops. Bring your mind rays back, and so you're not projecting outwards, and you're not hooking in to sensory appearances. Because of their illusory nature, you're starting to withdraw the mind from its engagement, like I said, which is equivalent to grasping. And then all of a sudden you have pure abiding. And in Buddha Shakyamuni's teachings in the sutras, they really interesting if you look up consciousness without surface, because this is exactly what it's talking about. The mind itself can be unengaged, non-doing, while still dancing. There's still the play, right? So yes, you could still enjoy the tea and whatever else. These things will sort themselves out, so you're not going to be a hedonist with sense pleasures, but in a way you are, because one sip of tea gives you so much joy. So you do become a low-key hedonist. Like, I just had eternal bliss with this one sip of tea. But of course, also just soaking in the view, like looking up at the sky or noticing the birds. Just it's everywhere. There is this magic that we want to normalize, but we don't want to oversaturate with our fantasies and imaginations, because that's still contriving. There's real magic underneath our contrivances, underneath our confusion and fabrications, which are self-centered and very constructed, very small, versus our real mind, our mature mind, so to speak, is very spacious and inclusive. But when we get mad, when we get desirous, we contract down, we hook into things, and the mind becomes small. We put ourselves in a dark room, completely oblivious to the rest of reality. So when it keeps saying reality presents itself as it is, that's going to be free of the veil of our kind of jaundice, right? The veil of our conceptual imputations. And how do you make sense of that? Again, I'm going to say use inductive reasoning. If your logic is getting in the way here, then remember, even according to science, our eyes can only see 2D. That means we're making it 3D, or maybe some of you are making it 4D, 5D. There's light rays and dancing and stuff. I would say it's fair that you're getting into other dimensions then. And so your visual spectrum is actually opening up. What is your visual spectrum really? It's your mind. So your mind spectrum is opening up. And when your mind spectrum opens up, that's why the sutras talk about you can hear things that you could never have heard before, smell things even. And so that includes your visual spectrum starts to soften, the constructing, the reification softens. And I mean, it's not important to see things, to see a light show, or a rainbow painting, as the book is titled. Um, it's important to free our constructed reality, our fabricated reality within um, this pure consciousness. And is that even important? You're going back to it either way, even if you're getting drunk every day right now and not participating in any dharma, you'd still be going back to it. So it just so happens that I suppose, relatively speaking, you can expedite the process, and you can have a way smoother, way more compassionate time. And what I like about enlightenment is that you bring your friends with you. Like, you can be friends, like the animals, the whole environment, every sage bush, every tree becomes your friend, every object, right? The whole life becomes your friend. And then every time you get a chance to be nice to somebody, compassionate to somebody, that's why we're here. This age old compassion. Otherwise, we may be getting drunk all day, and being self centered jerks could work, but it'd be missing that compassion. Okay, so I'll continue reading here. I'm doing a lot of elaboration because this is such a nuanced topic. It goes very deep. And Alan Wallace and Gyatrul Rinpoche, they're saying short things that are packed. They're making little statements that are packed with entire teachings. So, nice interpret. You could easily work for one of those propaganda machines at this point. Wow, they're doing a lot of lying out there, aren't they, the people? Anyway, we won't get into that. So let's go back to the reading here. So there are three ways of becoming a Buddha. The best is by realizing the meaning of the four great types of liberation and becoming a Buddha in this very life, such that your aggregates, together with their contaminants, disappear. Middling is to become a Buddha while dying by means of the instructions on transference. All right, let me back up a little. They're doing it again. There's a lot in, in this one sentence. So the best is, they're really talking about Dzogchen. When you recognize the nature of mind and you familiarize with the nature of mind to the point where it's empty cognizance, you're really resting in that. Um, in this very life, they're not playing about that. It's just been covered up, maybe because it's degenerate times in this particular collective, but it's been totally covered up that you can have substantial freedom right now. And we just covered up with provisional practices and provisional understandings of this stuff. And we also make it unobtainium by saying the Buddha is there and I'll never be the Buddha. I can't levitate. I can't, you know, perform all these miracles and everything. And then the way we talk about them in our sanghas, it's very important that we start to rephrase this, in my opinion, if that my opinion even matters to all the sanghas out there. But I'm just going to put my flag in the ground and say that let's not make enlightenment so distant and unobtainable. And we can't keep revering yogis as if they're these special people way beyond us. Um, they've all of them have had tough lives just like us. They've all really been through the ringer like us. In fact, most of them have been through more challenges than you could imagine. Um, they're all very sort of quote unquote normal people. They're very personable, can talk to you, like Tulku Organ Rinpoche, Dujum Rinpoche. They're not inhuman. Um, well, not in the sense of, you know, enlightenment. You are inhuman in the sense that you are living light. It's so wonderful, beyond living light. Light is reductive. You're living light consciousness. You are mind. It's awesome. So, okay. Anyway, yeah, Buddhahood in this lifetime. I feel like I'm one of the only ones really that followed that. you know, like years ago, I embraced that. My mom even told me. Um, I think I said something about, oh yeah, I'm gonna be free in the Bardo, which is this next one we're gonna touch on. And she said, "What? You're not gonna rainbow body?" And I looked at her, I was like, "Dang, mom, those are pretty high expectations." You know? So now, because my mom's holding me up to it, I suppose I'll give it a shot, all right? I'll try to rainbow body out of this place. I'm already getting pretty skinny, so who knows? Maybe I've started the process. Anyway, so that's a good segue into the meddling part here that says, "It's become a Buddha while dying." And that's in the Bardo by means of the pointing out instructions during as you die and your elements are collapsing in on each other, right? That's in the Tibetan Book of Dying. Or else to become a Buddha in the transitional process of reality itself by the power of truth becoming manifest. The least is to become a Buddha by being released in the Nirmanakaya pure realm in the transitional process of becoming, or else to choose a fine birthplace, take birth, encounter this Dharma, and become a Buddha. Okay, that's saying that you can practice provisional things like Dewa Chen comes to mind, Om Mani Dewa Hri, where you don't care about realizing the nature of mind. You're probably not going to get anybody like a guru or a lama to talk to you while you're dying. So your best bet is to do Ami Dewa Hri until purify enough uh, conditioned karma to where when you get reborn, you're in a more conducive place to recognizing the nature of mind and exhausting any conditioning. All right. So three different ways there they say that you can become enlightened. Um, and they do have like Pure Land Buddhism primarily focuses on getting to the Pure Land. I think Christianity is also actually doing that. They're more focused on getting people to the Pure Land by using Guru Yoga, believing in Jesus, um, or whatever they do out there. And but it is Guru Yoga, believing in Jesus, and it is Pure Land Dharma that that they're believing in, and those folks that are out there saying that, Christianity's idea is different because the soul doesn't change. Well, I have to ask, how can the soul go to heaven or hell then? Right? That's just our minds. Our minds don't really change, but they can be in heaven or hell. You see, so in many ways, it seems like we're dealing with the same fundamental idea here. So anyway, here are the instructions on the best way to be free of the craving of samadhi in the transitional process of meditative stabilization, on identifying the four great types of liberation and becoming a Buddha. These are the instructions on the transitional process of meditative stabilization called the natural liberation of awareness. Samaya. Sealed, sealed, sealed. Okay, we can stop there. So I guess we're going to get some instructions next time around to accomplish Buddhahood. And the best way is to accomplish it by achieving the rainbow body, as your mother tells you. All right. So I don't know. Like I pretty much think everybody's rainbow bodied right now. I, I I don't know how I feel about that. People say they see their teachers. People have said that they've seen their teachers rainbow body. Um, the only way I can make sense of that is like, for example, in this group, there's a strong presence. People's meditation is going to be better in this group. And even if we had a little center, it would be better at the center when we sit together. There's something to that. And yeah, I suppose when you're in the presence of awareness holders, uh, people who have authentic realization, then I think you're just starting to see the truth. That's why they see rainbow bodies. It's not that the teacher is doing anything, but they talk about the teacher leaves little fragments, like small bone fragments, and only hair is left over, right? Or something like that. The rest disappears into rainbows. So if that's the case, if the teacher can really do that tukdam, where they shrink up into a very small body because most of it dissipated, then I would consider that some kind of a different type of then the teacher is doing something there. They're dissolving. You know? Now, I haven't seen that. I've never seen that in my life, so I can't really comment on that. Do I think it's possible from my personal experience to dissolve my elements as I sit here in front of you? Sure. Yeah, it's possible. Why not? Okay. Well, I think that's it. So thank you so much, Yeshi and Nadir Sangha today for facilitating this text exploration. It's another great time. I feel like we're preserving the Dharma, but also we're learning the Dharma. We don't really use the four liberations so much in here. We have the three modes of liberation, which are practically the same. Um, I have yet to see. Well, yeah, you can use the six nails. I think the six nails are the same thing. So the four modes of liberation are the six nails, and as long as as long as the key point is there, that when we're sitting here abiding, or when you're walking abiding, or sleeping abiding, that is free of you trying to modify anything. You, it's free of you trying to modify your meditation. So that's the first one. It's also free of you examining what's going on right now. That's the second one. And those correspond with the samayha of ineffability and openness. So, and then there's um, just leaving the fruit, just leaving awareness as it is, which is a natural, complete liberation in itself. And then there's total freedom of effort, is the fourth one, which they all intertwine, okay? They all intertwine anyway.